I used to do radio. So this shouldn't be hard because you can't see your audience. You know, when I had a morning drive time talk show.
Really?
Yeah, for like 8 years.
What was the radio show about?
It was just a morning drive time show. It was two of us, a guy and a gal, and we were on from 6 in the morning till 9 o'clock, and we did the drive time stuff. We did news, weather, songs, a lot of laughs. People compared it to Prairie Home Companion.
Okay.
I don't know if you know Prairie Home Companion. It was a radio program about a kind of a mythical town called Lake Wobegon. Well, I lived in Ely, Minnesota, and we didn't have to make anything up because it was all real.
Okay.
It was a crazy, wonderful, eclectic town full of characters, and we just had a blast.
It was just like a local affiliate radio?
It was local, but for about 4 years, we were the #1 rated morning drive time show in the Duluth market, which was a much bigger market, a bigger town.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
So, tell me about your Mississippi adventure.
Mississippi River trip. That was like 36 and a half years ago. We were a young couple. We were driving down the road one day, and my husband said, you know what? He was listening to a John Mellencamp song. And he said that in the song, the guy's talking about doors closing behind you and stuff. And he said, I don't want that to happen to us. And he said, I got this crazy idea. So he started telling me he wanted to get a canoe and canoe down the Mississippi River. And he looked at me and I said, yeah, okay, let's go, let's do it. And so we started researching it, and we bought a canoe and we left the next week and off we went.
And that was what, 6 weeks, 8 weeks?
We were gone for 51 days on the river.
51 days.
We went to northern Minnesota because we wanted to start at the headwaters and get every single drop. In fact, we went to the other side of the lake up there, Lake Itasca, so that we could make sure we got...
So you did some portaging. Did you have to portage at all?
We had to portage a few times.
Yeah.
Once you get to the Twin Cities, locks and dams, we could lock through.
Yep.
But up in northern Minnesota, we had a few places we had to carry the canoe.
And because you said you were doing like the Canadian in Canada too. You were
well,
doing
actually,
big
it's all in the U.S.
Okay.
But it's northern Minnesota.
Yeah, the headwaters.
The headwaters is there. Yep, and it never goes into Canada.
But you had gone into you were telling me other stories about going into Canada and doing the big portages there too, right?
Oh yeah, we would do that every year. That was years later.
Okay.
We lived in Ely, Minnesota, so we canoed a lot and portaged a lot.
And what was your favorite thing about the Mississippi trip?
I think having to rely on each other for everything.
Oh,
I mean, I found, we've been married for 38 years, and when we're at our best is when we're working on something together. When we had to both go away and do our jobs all day long and only see each other at night and stuff, yeah, it was a fine marriage. But when we really thrive at our best is when we were doing something crazy and we had to rely 100% on each other, like we do now in our retirement. That's when we do good. That's us.
And could you tell me about your what was it, 20 days, 30 days of straight sailing to get back to America?
Oh yeah, we were in Grenada, southern Grenada, and we wanted to come home because COVID drove the poor little island people crazy. The little governments didn't know what to do about it, and they were testing the heck out of all the cruisers because they looked at us like we all had leprosy. You know, we're not from there, so we have to be COVID carriers, so they would test you everywhere. And we said, we're done with that. We're going home for a while, so rather than have to test at every island on our way home, we just drew a straight line from Grenada to Marathon, Florida, and sailed straight home, 13 days and nights, and we were home. We got kind of in a bad storm north of Cuba before we came through the old Bahama Channel, and we had 36 hours where we had to go down below, and we had to just let the storm kind of blow us. We hove to and let the storm kind of push us, and then every 8 hours we'd go up and move the boat up close to the reef again and let the storm push us. And we got through 36 hours of that, and the storm finally broke, and we came home. We got to Florida, and this is my favorite thing about the United States. We got to Florida, I went on the Custom and Border Patrol website and said, we've spent 13 days sailing home from Grenada. We'd been gone for almost 2 years at that point, and when they saw we'd been on the water, actively on the water for 13 days without making a single stop, the message to us was welcome home.
Oh,
Welcome back to the United States of America. No test, no hassles, Florida.
nice.
Yeah.
And what was your best experience on sailing or out in the water?
The people.
The
The
people.
people that you meet. A lot of retired folks like us doing the same thing, which is remarkable. You have no idea how many.
Yeah.
But we'd get to a harbor in Grenada and there'd be 100 boats doing the same kind of thing we're doing. So that and then snorkeling,
Ooh.
because I can't get enough of the snorkeling.
I'm the same
You
way.
know, diving down and picking up a lobster or a conch or something. I mean, there's just nothing like getting your own meal fresh out of the ocean and cooking it and eating it.
That sounds so delicious
So,
right now.
Yeah.
And what does freedom mean to you?
Freedom is our ability to decide what we want to do for ourselves, as long as we're not impinging the freedom of somebody else. What I want to do with my time and myself is up to me. It's not up to anybody else. And it's also the ability to fulfill your own potential, because I feel like we're squashing people's potential and our kids right now. I think the greatest crime of probably this century is what we have done to our kids in the last 2 years. We've masked them, we've retarded their learning, and what we've done, I don't know if we can ever go back. I don't know if we can ever make it right with those kids. And I'm talking kindergarten to college. We've stolen 2 years of their life, and it's not right. Your childhood is too short as it is, and now we stole it.
Okay, one more question.
Okay.
Could you tell me a little bit about the story of the property we stayed at and what happened to that
The Pollock
family?
family.
Yeah.
We met this most incredible family of patriots, true God-fearing, America-loving patriots who went to our Capitol on December 6th to peacefully protest. And they were ushered into the Capitol, literally ushered in by the police. And at some point, nobody knows exactly when or what happened, those police changed. And all of a sudden it's cops in riot gear with shields and batons and face shields and everything against a bunch of unarmed patriots who went in there. Now, every time one of these patriots tried to defend themselves, they claim that those patriots were attacking the police. Who in their right mind, with no weapons, with only your fists, is going to attack somebody with a shield, face shield, and a baton and pepper spray? Nobody. They were not the aggressors, the cops were. And this family had a number of their children, and the dad and mom were all there, and they bent over, one of them bent over to help an older man who had been pepper sprayed, and one of these Capitol Police hit him in the back of the head, busted his head wide open, hit the daughter, beautiful daughter, hit her in the face, busted her face open. And so they had one of the most horrible days of their life there, right? They all got pepper sprayed. They go home, and these same people, this same tyrannical government comes to their home with 4 big armored vehicles and over 100 people, 100 to 150 look like soldiers, threw concussion bombs into their home 5:30 in the morning after having tranquilized their dog, throws these bombs into their home, pulls everybody out. They're all on the ground. They're all in handcuffs for 6 hours because they had been at their Capitol trying to exercise their freedom to peacefully protest. I didn't think that could happen in America. And this poor man, he tells a story about his children being beat up and about these armed guards on his property with his little grandbabies, 2, 3, and 5-year-old granddaughters, and walking with soldiers on both sides of them and a red dot on their chest. And we all know what that red dot is, as these kids are walking across the lawn. I mean, what if that happened in a third world country? You would be outraged. the fact that it happened here in the United States of America breaks my ever-living heart. And I'm not going to let it continue. That's it.
Can I give you a hug?
Yeah.
Oh, that was beautiful. Thank you so much. You've got some tears in my eye. Beautiful. Anything else you want to say?
No, I'm good.
Oh, that was beautiful.